Welcome back to gardening from start to finish, and this is Mike. I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about maximizing your space in your garden. As you can see, we don't have a lot of space here. So I kind of wanted to walk through with you and talk a little bit about succession planting and how we're going to maximize this overall garden space that we do have. Got a lot of things coming up since the last video. This is all a second crop or succession planting of mesclun mix, or what you would typically call your baby greens that you get. As well as we have two nice long rows of spinach that has come up right along the pathway here. And also, might be a little difficult to see, but here's a succession planting of the spinach also coming up in here, which is going to need to be thinned out soon, as well as some more radishes and another few short rows of spinach. Now, everything's come along really nicely over here. This is your mesclun mix or baby greens. I got some radishes which are about ready to start harvesting. I don't know how easy it is for you guys to see, but we're getting some good bulb development down there. So these are just about ready to go. The butter crunch lettuce coming in along nicely, as well as red Russian kale. Remember, we have the trillium that popped up here in the middle. Little trillium. I'm not sure what variety or cultivar this is. Like I said, it was something I'd planted a long time ago. And then over here is, if you remember correctly, this was the strawberries. Now, typically on your first year of strawberries, you would want to pinch off these blossoms, but with having 3 kids, that's a little difficult to do. They're going to want to, you know, pick a few strawberries off this summer. So I'm just going to go ahead and let these go. Down towards the end, we had a few that did not do very well. And I think that really is more so just to lack of a fertile soil than anything else. We got one really small plant. You can see there, one really small one. And then one is just pretty much didn't do anything at all. And that could be that the rootstock was a little too small when I planted it, or something along that line. So anyway, back to succession planting. What we're going to do here, guys, once this bed over here with the lettuce and the radishes, once that's all harvested and that comes out, we're going to follow up probably with some zucchini in that area for summer harvest. And then as this next crop over here of the lettuce, the spinach, and the radish, once that comes out, we're going to follow that up with some cantaloupe, which will intermingle well, because by that time the kale as well as the Swiss chard here, those will have all gotten some nice height to them. So the vines from the cantaloupe will actually be shaded just a little bit as they come down into the garden here. I've also just recently, this past weekend, have some peppers in, and that's what's right along this edge right here, close to the spinach. And I planted it closely, knowing that spinach row is going to be harvested fairly soon. And then we have some tomatoes here in the background. And just today I planted 4 short rows of corn, which we should be able to get 1 to 2 ears per plant, which for our family, that'll be plenty. You know, we'll probably get several dozen ears of corn off of there. There's broccoli, more broccoli coming up. Also, we had a few surprises. That's actually right there, that little seedling is a red Russian kale that popped up. And here's another one over here, right there, and there's a little surprise speckled lettuce of some sort that has come up. And those are maybe seeds that didn't germinate from a prior time. that decided this year was the year to go. So it's always, that's one thing with gardening, you know, you always have little surprises pop up here and there. So with that said, with this minimal amount of garden space that we do have, sometimes you have to be creative, in which case over here in the front, instead of planting flowers so far this year, we have some broccoli in here, as well as some red sales lettuce, of which we've been harvesting off of for probably about 2 weeks now. There's some clover and stuff popping up in here. I've cultivated it once over the last couple of days, but it needs to be cultivated again, obviously. I don't want that clover taking hold of this area. And then over in this direction, which I had showed you guys this before, but a very small thin bed running down the length of the house, and this is Swiss chard and the Red Acres cabbage, all of which is coming along nicely here. So anyway, so that's just a little bit about how to maximize what space you have. Don't be afraid to intermingle your vegetables along with flowers, you know, or hostas, or, you know, that poor thing didn't make it and had it in for a couple years, but as you can see, the root ball stayed about the same size as the container. It never really reached out, and so that finally decided to go kaput. But anyway, like I was saying, you can always intermingle your vegetable plants along with other flowers and things that you have around the house, and don't be afraid to experiment. I mean, that's all part of the learning process. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.